to work on an evergreen hanging basket. I have to tell you that while I work on these evergreen branches, people walk by and they love the aroma. I wish you could smell it. It's just the feel of Christmas. We've done porch pots in the past, but why not a hanging basket? Why does spring get to have all the fun? Why not have an evergreen hanging basket? And it's not hard to do. Let me show you how. We start with the basics. Of course, a nice hanging basket. Now we have this hanging basket positioned. We're going to take one of the hangers on one of the sides, just unhook that, and we're going to drape it over the side. So now we can work in the basket. Just like with the porch pots, we're going to put soil inside the basket. As the temperatures get colder, the soil has moisture in it, and that soil is going to freeze, holding the branches in place. Now we're ready to create our holiday basket. I've prepared a couple baskets here for you. Look at this basket with the birch branches in the center. I've used some juniper and a variety of spruce, as well as some LED lights and some ornaments to create this basket. But again, the concept is to work from the center out, thinking thriller, filler, and spiller. We did the same thing with this basket, where again we used birch branches, both small birch branches and larger birch branches, along with pine and juniper to create this basket and some ornamentation. So that's what we're going to do here, and I'm going to try and create a basket which pines for your attention. This is going to be a pine basket. I've cut some Scotch pine branches. So as opposed to using birch branches, we'll start in the center with these Scotch pine branches. I always like to work in odd numbers when creating something, whether it's in landscape or a planter. So we have varying heights, varying sizes. And remember that once this is all said and done and we've arranged this, that soil is going to freeze and hold those branches in place all the way to April of the following year. And using red twig dogwood, we're going to take the pruning shears, cut the base or the ends at an angle, just get a pointed end to them so they're easier to stick into the soil, and we're going to start working those around the center. And red twig dogwood, like I say, is a native Michigan plant. Now it's at this point we're going to retrieve the hangers that we had set aside, put the soil and put the thriller in the basket, and we're going to rehook those at this point. Now we get to the fun part. My plans were to use Scotch pine, white pine, and Austrian pine. I just cut these out of the landscape. Now we're at the point where we're ready to put the filler in the basket. I love working with white pine because white pine stems are usually easy to work with, and it adds kind of this wistful, soft, light green color to the basket. Remember we talked thriller, filler, spiller? Well, take a look at that white pine. See that? It just has that natural pendulating type look to it. Provides the perfect spiller to put in our container. Alright, then for the filler component, what we're going to do is work in some of this beautiful Austrian pine. Look at the needles on that. Long, stiff needles. Provides a really great component to provide the fill that we're looking for. So we went with a pine theme on this hanging basket. White pine, Scotch pine, and Austrian pine. We're going to add some pine cones. You can purchase pine cones on a stem, or we can just use pine cones naturally from the landscape and wire them into the arrangement. Now, because our hanging basket is going to be outside, it's a good idea to use plastic ornaments. Get some florist wire and use florist wire through the ornament, and we're going to be able to take that and wire it directly onto some of the branches to throw a few of these pretty plastic ornaments that aren't going to break on us into our hanging arrangement. Now you may have noticed two components on these other hanging baskets that I produced. This basket with the pine, and that is the wire that is strung throughout the basket for a little bit of added color and interest. And what that is it's a florist wire. And then on this hanging basket we used LED lights. And what's great about these is if you don't have an extension cord or an outlet nearby, they're battery operated. So this holiday basket gets my stump of approval, and I hope you pine for a basket like this. White pine, Scotch pine, Austrian pine, pine cones. We're going to use this floral wire. Look at how that gold just adds a little bit of interest and color to the basket. And then of course, Scotch pine branches in the center for our thriller, combined with a Michigan native red twig dogwood. That's an absolutely beautiful basket. 3 different ideas for you on how to make a holiday basket for your Christmas season.